Hey, it's Dan here. I've got the makings for a lemon ginger blast. I'm going to take the pulp and I'm going to show you how to make some awesome crackers. Before I get started though, I wanted to let you know that I'm having the lifetime of work sale again for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 26th, 27th, and 28th. A lot of people missed the sale and they were bummed out. So I decided to fire it up again for 3 more days. Do not miss it this time. That is a full tuition to my online school and lifetime access to all the information products that I've ever created. It is the deal of a lifetime. Over $1,000 worth of educational materials for $77. This is the last year, it'll be $77. Next year I'm going to do $97 to be more fair to myself. Thank you very much for letting me share that. Let's get started on the lemon ginger blast. I'll put the ingredients down below. It's 1 cucumber, 8 stalks of celery, 1 head of fennel, 1 bunch of dill, 1 bunch of cilantro, 6 apples, 1 incredibly large lemon, or just 1 lemon, but I love them nice and lemony. A big old chunk of ginger to taste, and a big old chunk of fresh turmeric to taste, and 1 habanero pepper. If you can't dig it, either leave it out or use half of it, or use a jalapeno, or use a dash of cayenne. But the capsaicin is really good to get the metabolism fired up in the morning. So let's get started on this thing, and then this is going to be for my breakfast. I've been up since 1:30 in the morning to meditate, and so I'm a little frizzle fried this morning, but feeling good and very grateful. Been sleeping so deep. I haven't needed as much sleep ever since the fast. I've been getting maybe 6 hours of sleep a night. Then I wake up like between 1:30 or 3:30 in the morning is usually when I've been waking up, and then I'm just awake. And then what I do is I meditate and I do yoga, and then I get all my work done online, write all my emails, check my emails, and I'm usually done working by like 6 or 7 in the morning. And then I try to do some, and then I try to maybe get outside, or what I'm doing today is I'm just going to make this video, and then I usually start consults around 9 a.m. And so I've got about an hour to do this video, have a lemon ginger blast, and then I'm going to do some consultations. And then I'll be done by noon, and then I can go outside and play. So I like to be done working by noon every day so that I can just have the rest of the day to have fun. And then I usually end up around maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 o'clock, having a nice dinner. I'll watch a documentary, and then I go to bed. Usually around 8 or 8:30. But last night I went to bed at like 7:30, and then I woke up at 1:30 just going bzzz. So then I got out, sat right there on the couch, and put on my favorite meditation music, and just got into the zone, and it was awesome. Yeah. So I just came up with this idea the other day for the lemon ginger blast cracker. We weren't sure it was going to work. Dakota was over. We made a lemon ginger blast, and I was like, do you think that would work if I took the pulp and made a cracker? So I did it, and I had her taste test it, and she's like, it's a total winner. Because, the lemon, the ginger, the turmeric, the mint, the fennel, you wouldn't think that it would go together in a cracker, but apparently, and she's a great taste tester, she knows, and she was just like, it's awesome. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. And then I've found that you can do that with a lot of different, you can do that with all the pulp as far as I'm concerned. And I think that you'll want to see some of the nuances. I mean, I'm kind of a food savant, so I knew it would be okay, but I didn't know she thought it was magnificently delicious. I'm not eating any crackers right now because 2 weeks ago I broke a water fast, so I'm still on juices and fruits and salads. I did drink some epic coconut and macadamia nut milk yesterday, and that was awesome. So I made some more coconut macadamia nut milk with life essentials and probiotics. Oh my God, and it was so refreshing. I had that for breakfast. Usually I have a high water juice for breakfast, but I just did this. I did this really long consult, and it was one of the more difficult cases I've ever worked with. Usually I'm not stumped, but I mean, after the medical doctors cut you all to pieces and drug you up, oh God, you know, the more medical care that someone's had before they get a hold of me, the harder it is, because, you know, if you really understand, like a lot of people don't, they're kind of programmed to believe in the CDC and the medical paradigm and all that crap. Most of you have outsmarted all that, because it's like, okay, suppressing symptoms is stupid, but it's very profitable. So if we were just healing everyone, you know, if everyone knew, oh, you need to detox, and you need, so it'd be like, oh, you need to go home and water fast for 10 days, and you'll probably, you know, eliminate your diabetes or whatever, maybe a little bit more than that. But anyways, they're not gonna, they can't fix the problems that they created in the first place on purpose. Because if you study the Rockefeller work, you know, it's all conspiracy stuff, but, you know, it's like petroleum-based pharmaceutical drugs. What are we going to do with all these coal tar derivatives that are left over from the, you know, from the oil industry? Well, I got an idea. Let's make petroleum-based, coal tar-based pharmaceutical drugs and get everyone to get on those. So we'll suppress natural healing, herbology, chiropractic, and anything else, and we'll call all that quackery, and we'll repeat that over and over and over again, and then we'll kill or threaten or sue anyone who starts getting results with herbs and juicing and detoxification and fasting. And you'll notice, if you study health like I have throughout history, that a lot of the people who ever started really curing and healing people with herbs or fasting or natural diets either spent some time in jail or got, you know, their information suppressed, and in worst cases, and in a lot of cases, they got themselves dead. Because you don't want to cost these medical doctors millions of dollars, and because they will not be too happy about that. If you're taking their cancer patients and you're teaching them how to juice and how to get outside for fresh air and eliminate stress, not manage stress, but eliminate it, then you're going to have to be taken off the game board, you know. Got a little notification that came up, so in 1 hour I've got my consult, so that's good. Excuse me while I get this thing out of the way there. I'd like to be able to see what the heck I'm doing here, that I'm in the shot and everything, but we're going to get this done real easy. Anyways, it's sad what goes on. I mean, thankfully, I am so grateful that I have all my organs and that I was able to detoxify a lot of the antibiotics and a lot of the drugs that I was on as a kid. And then, of course, they put you on drugs as a kid. And then when you get to be an adult, then you go out and you do self-prescription because you leave school, you leave your parents' home, you're no longer on insurance. And so your body's already addicted to these stimulants or these antidepressants. I mean, my mom was always trying, you need drugs, Dan, you need drugs. I'd be like, Mom, I don't need drugs. I'm not going to do drugs. You're on drugs. You need drugs. I don't need drugs. For your depression, it's like I was hell-bent and bound and determined to beat depression on my own without drugs. And I've done that because I used to be suicidally depressed, but it was because of all the shit that they were stuffing into me, putting fluoride in my brain. You guys remember swishing fluoride around my generation? I'm 44 years young. We were swishing fluoride around in our mouths. Okay, welcome to psychopath land. I mean, that is psychotic and insane. Oh, but it helps your teeth. Stupid. Don't be a retard, okay? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's to make you brain dead and suggestible to suggestibility. Because they've been working on the dumbing down of mankind for a very long time. And it's been a conscious plan to make everyone as dumb and docile and helpless and hopeless as possible. And so what I've done now with the diet and meditation and yoga and self-awareness and learning and researching and self-care, and also getting my gut. The gut is the key to depression and anxiety. And the problem that we're having is all the cesarean sections. Like, 1 out of 1,000 births might need to be emergency cesarean section. If we ate more natural foods, everything would open up a lot easier, close up a lot easier. There'd be a lot less scar tissue and the body would bounce back a lot faster. But our unnatural lifestyles, unnatural food, chemicals and whatnot keep the woman's body from responding as favorably as it would with the wild animals who just plonk out the little critter, and that's good, and it's good to go. But we're so unnatural that we left nature. I get it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this juicer's not natural, this roof isn't natural. It's funny, I've been noticing the vegans are saying that carnivores aren't natural. The carnivores are saying the vegans aren't natural. I got news for you folks. None of us are natural, okay? So we all can just lay off and chill out and get as much nature as we can. Try to emulate nature as much as we can. But all the complaining that we're doing on our unnatural cell phones and our unnatural computers in our unnatural house, with our unnatural refrigerator, and our toothbrushes don't grow on trees either, but I bet you're thankful that you got one. At least your partner is in society. And for everyone who doesn't do this kind of green juice and self-care, dudes like me are grateful that there's such thing as deodorant. If you keep your colon clean and you don't have anything putrefying or rotting inside of you because you're conscious and you take time to fast a little bit, or you drink high oxygenated green juice, which kills all the pathogenic type, then you won't have the pathogens pooping inside of you. Then you really sweat and you stink really bad. So dudes like me are grateful that there is such a thing as unnatural deodorants and stuff, because people kind of smell bad that don't take care of themselves, and take care of their colon. And if you don't take care of your colon, you get depressed as well. And that's the thing for the anxiety. I'm going to throw this habanero, freshly picked out of the garden. Not my garden. That's my dream, to get back to the garden, because I want to get back to the microbial soils and stuff. But yeah, you gotta take care of your gut. And the cesarean section and the formula feeding and the antibiotics, the flu shots, the hepatitis B shot. I mean, your newborn baby might go have sex with somebody or start intravenously shooting heroin. So you got to be careful about that hepatitis. I mean, how dumb can we be? But it's the fluoride, it's the programming, it's the incessant overall. And then when you get smarter and older and more mature, you look back and you're like, oh God, everything I learned in school was 100% lies, and the history of the world is a bunch of lies that we've all agreed upon. You know what I'm saying? And so we look back, and when we start looking at the details, none of what we learned about the history of anything is true at all. So question everything and believe nothing until you have mastered it with your own experience. Can you dig it, baby? Word. I know that you can. So we're just about wrapping up this lemon ginger blast. I'm going on a rant. I'm tired of this crap, with all this crap, because people call me up and they're so brutalized and so traumatized and so broken down by the medical paradigm, which is so invasive. I mean, you need your gallbladder, you need your colon, and if you call me up and you spend a couple bucks on a phone consult, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Now, yesterday, there's so much. Everyone gets so brutalized, and then when they cut out these vital organs like your gallbladder, or your appendix, or part of your colon, you need your whole colon, you need your whole small gallbladder, you need your stomach. You don't need your stomach stapled. You've just got to break free from all the chemicals that are in the food that you can't stop. And then you get obese because you're sad and you've got some trauma or something you need to deal with. And then you eat and eat and eat, but you eat the processed crap with the chemicals in it, where they've spent millions and billions of dollars probably on the science of how do we make these foods extremely addictive so that we can sell stuff. How do we sell our pharmaceutical drugs? It's the chemical makers. They want to sell chemicals, and the food makers want to sell food. And so they, it's the capitalist society. So, but I think it's really not right, because they suppress all the information that lets us know that these chemicals cause cancer, they cause obesity, diabetes, and everything else. But again, the whole of society has got their hand in the cookie jar, and so no one really wants to say anything unless you're free from the matrix and you're like me, you're a renegade, and you just make up your own damn money how you want to do it with your own damn thing. And I found a few good ways to do that with these integrous companies and whatnot, and so that works for me. Then I don't have to be part of the whole chemical dumbing down of society, and I can say it's better if you avoid the chemicals. Like the sunscreen is a great example. Dakota and I are walking at the beaches or out on the trail, and the tourists always have sunscreen, or they're downwind and they're spraying this crap and it's coming right into our face. And we're just like, oh God. And they don't even realize that the sunscreen and chemical industry is saying that the sun causes skin cancer because God's an idiot, But really, it's actually the sun doesn't cause cancer. The sunscreen does, because it's got a ton of cancer-causing chemicals in it. So it's exactly the opposite. So the world is opposite. You go to your doctor, he says blah, blah, blah. You go home and you do the exact opposite of what he said. Food doesn't have anything to do with your health. Diet has nothing to do with cancer. Really? What if you're eating a diet that inhibits the utilization of oxygen? Did you know that if you have high oxygen, you can't have candida? That you can't have cancer? It's oxygen deprivation. I mean, that's the thing. So whatever you do, whatever diet you do eat, make sure you're getting your butt outside. Number one, make sure it has a lot of oxygen in your diet, which is fresh fruits and vegetables, freshly squeezed. Because right now I'm going to drink one of these. Of course, I'm going to put a couple away for later, and it loses a lot of its power, but it's still better than the crap at the grocery store that's been totally pasteurized and has absolutely no life force in it whatsoever. Awesome crackers. So you want to you want to have oxygen in your juices and in your food, and then you want to get outside and breathe. And so if there's blockages from like fried oils and fried fats and heavy mucus forming foods inhibiting the oxygen getting to those places, that's when you can start to have the buildup of those growths, because they're anaerobic, whether it's the pathogenic microbes, the viruses, or the cancer cells. Oxygen is like the key, man, to the whole thing. That's my belief. I mean, I put oxygen way above food. The human being can stuff anything into their gut. But man, you can't go for very long without oxygen. You can go for a long time without food, 40 days at least, I know of through experience. Who knows what the real potential is? But I'm gonna do another cucumber here because I want to get this thing up to 3 quarts so that I have a nice even 3 quarts. Anyways, I'm just wrapping while we do this. This is 25 minutes of just you watching me prepare for the real part of the video. So we'll probably be wrapping for about an hour today. I'm gonna use one of these little bad boys and we'll get this thing up to 3 quarts because we're just about there. And I thought 1 cucumber wasn't really enough, but I just wanted to kind of dial it in and get 3 quarts. Whoa, baby. And then I'll show you what I do. I'll put them in the jars and I'm going to slam one back because I need to get my morning coffee in here before I start these consults. Especially, I mean, I haven't woke up at 1:30 in quite a while. You know, usually it's about like 3:30 or something. I'll get up, but man, got up at 1:30, just like, you know, awake. I love going to bed early, and getting up early, and then getting all my work done, all my internet stuff done, and then I bust out these consults. And when you're done working by noon every day, you're stoked, man. And you have a really good life, you're stoked. So here we go, check it out. Let's do this. Get all the stuff out of the way here. Boom. Boom. And boom. I'm really looking forward to this. I am thirsty and ready to kick off another glorious day. I'm going to definitely go do some playing today. There's a market, Wednesday market, one of my favorites. Gonna go check out and see what kind of fresh fruits and vegetables I can get. Awesome, dude. Awesome. And then I'm going to do this. This is what I do every day. This is my favorite way to do it. So there's a couple for later, and sometimes I'll have another lemon ginger blast between consults. Keep the energy going because the apples kind of feed my brain, and the herbs just kind of, you know, give me the minerals and the vitamins and the hydration I need throughout the day. So my next move is the fat scoop of the Lifezyme. This is one of my favorite ways to take it. Put a scoop of the Lifezyme in there. And just shake it up, shake it up. I'm going to move this out of the way, and so that I can get started on the next section of the video. So it's very important that I point that out to you, because if you see this stuff and you see this video, the next time something comes up, you might think twice when the doctor says, well, let's cut something out of you, because I ain't never had a consult out of thousands of phone consultations of somebody that was glad they had their stuff cut out of them. And they all regret it. Every single one of them. I think there's a couple people actually that said that they were glad that they got their stomach stapled because it did help them lose weight. But again, that was always within the first year or two, and I never really have talked to anyone 5 years after stomach stapling surgery. So I'm interested in the long-term effects. If you have any experience with that, the long-term effects, like if you've had your stomach stapled for 5 years and you're still getting good results, I'd be curious to know about that. But I'm talking about, you need your gallbladder, you need your appendix, you need your colon, you need your parathyroid. You know, so if you've got tumors and stuff, you should just melt those away, you know? You should just melt away the tumors And of course, they've been using enzymes for over 100 years to dissolve tumors, but it doesn't go along with the medical paradigm because they can't patent the enzymes, you know, and turn them into pharmaceutical drugs. So everything that can't be patented must be diminished. They're probably going to try to start patenting the cannabis soon, you know? So we're going to see how that goes. That'll be interesting. Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, dude, that is epic. That is a great blast. Man, that is a great blast. So, check this out. Here we go. Phase 2, baby. When it's just me and I'm not making videos, I cover this table because it's beautiful. I cover it with a towel. But see, because I don't want to I want to just protect this baby because it's just gorgeous. So, and I'm going to do that now. So this is actually how I really roll. But I think it looks better for the videos uncovered. But I'll take this. Now I'm going to do, well, I'm going to leave that here. So check it out. Here we go. I got the, I'm going to put all the pulp in here. Pretty full. We're going to make some cracker dough. So there's that. And let me show you what else I'm going to do here. First, I'm going to grind up some flax seeds. So I got the flax seed action here. I'm going to do about, a half a cup. The flax seeds and the Puradyme Protein act as binders. The flax seed is the binder, and the Puradyme Natural Protein not only gives it a more high protein cracker so that it's dank, but it also gives it a nice texture, you know? So I'm going to do about half a cup of flax seeds. And that's all you need to get enough binder action going. And you can, you know, I like it better when they're ground. I think it's way better. All it takes. Make the best. That's the way to do it because the flax seeds stay fresher if you leave them whole. If you get ground flaxseed, a meal from the store, it's probably more than likely rancid. Seeds have a tendency to be able to hold their oils and stuff, you know, inside the seed for a lot longer time than once the seed has been broken. Open, then things can start to go kind of rancid very rapidly. So there is that. Next is about half of a cup of the Puradyme Natural Protein. And what I need to do, I can see right now, is I need to get a 14 cup. I need to go down to Costco and spend about, I think they're $150 for a 14 cup. This is an 11, but I've had this since the RV. I've had this thing for 9 years, and it's still all the original pieces, still working like a champ. So that's why I love it. But I'm going to get the Cuisinart 14 cup, which I've had one of those too, but I'm not even sure what the hell happened. I've moved so many times and everything else. So anyways, check this out. I go like this now. Do the old DTM shaker. Don't forget, got a couple more things to do here. Gonna go with about probably a tablespoon of salt, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And last but not least, I throw in some whole black peppercorns here. You know, 20, 30 black peppercorns. And then we'll hit this thing again. And it takes a few minutes to get this, to get everything nice and into like to a cracker dough. But you're gonna see in a minute that it's worth hanging out for. And I'm going to show you how to make the crackers here. So we'll go flat there. Little bad boy. Okay, we got it. Got it. We're going to go a little more on this. That's why I need the 14 cup, because this is a little too small for this. I'm running you through the whole thing today though, so, and then, here we go. Show you what we're going to do. Drop that bad boy in there. Now we're going to knead it just for a minute. And this is the lemon ginger blast cracker dough. It smells magnificent. And you knead it just like bread dough to get any of the kind of air bubbles and stuff out. It's such a great way to use the pulp, right? Okay, next you make a nice little lemon ginger blast ball. Now, of course, feel free to just eat it like that, or you can take it to the next level, baby. Now you take one Teflon sheet. Now I take it off of this because if you press it onto there, you'll get all those squares. So I take it off and I put it on the flat surface. Now I'm gonna put this on there, and I'm gonna use my cutting board here to form it into, and I'm going to do what I did in here. This is like pizza crust shape. How we looking? Nice. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll show you. I know this takes forever. If I edit it, it'd be probably different, but it's the details, baby. It's the details. And so where is my little, this one will have to work. No, I don't like this one. Here it is. My little, oh. Yes. Lemon ginger blast, man. Never get tired of that. So I'm going to go around the edge, clean it up, round it out. so that it's pretty. Now sometimes I'll make this into squares. You'll see in a minute why I'm making it round. I'm going to show you what's up. And you just keep working it, flattening it out. Nice. Still pretty thick. I'm gonna go around one more time. The thing is the moisture with the dehydrator, you put it on 120, it pulls all the moisture out. So this thickness goes down by about 2/3. So although this might look really super thick, it actually diminishes substantially. So we'll try this one more time. You don't have to do that. That's just a special booty technique. Life Regenerator booty technique, cracker making style. Okay. Good stuff, baby, the good stuff. There it is. There it is. Now I'm going to go around one last time. Make it nice and pretty. Cool, cool. Now I bring this thing back out, slide it under. And then, last but not least, right here, I am going to make it, cut some cracker pieces, north, south, east, and west. And then, so I'm going to make 8 big, giant pizza slice crackers. And there you have it. Try not to let it slide off of there. There you go, see? Pretty cool, right? Now, into the dehydrator. And voila. Check it out. See, there's my little taste tester, Dakota. She said they were awesome. So there you go. And now you can take some sun-dried tomatoes or fresh tomato paste, put that on there, grind up some pine nuts or macadamia nuts and throw on some spinach with a splash of olive oil, a jalapeno, you know, anything, or just plain, you know. And so there you go, the lemon ginger blast crackers. I mean, the ideas are infinite. Put that on the side with some salad, anything. And then so what I'm going to do is, do not try this at home, kids. And it takes about, at 120, it takes about 24 hours to get her done. So now I've got a huge mess to clean up and about probably 45 minutes before my first consult. Thank you for watching this video. Keep your eyes peeled. The Insiders Club. I'll make a video on YouTube tomorrow for the $77 Lifetime of Work sale. Thank you all so very much for your love and your support. It has been really fun to be back in the game. I got a lot of great projects coming up right now. I'm just going to get a whole bunch of stuff done out of the way for the website. For Kauai Pharmacy, I have a gift bag over there that they gave me I'm going to go through, and I'm going to do a Kauai Pharmacy video. I've got my Morocco method stuff right there on the table in the boxes. I'm going to do a video on hair, and it's really going to be about chemicals more than anything. I'm just can't stand chemicals and what they're doing to everyone, because I deal with people every day, and it's always the chemicals on the food, the chemicals from the medical industry, the chemicals from their job, the chemicals from the military. It's a whole, you know, it's just nuts, and we need to be aware. And so here I am, just using this platform to, you know, let's all be more aware of everything, try to judge less. I'm going to work on that myself, you know. The more you learn, the less you know. You know what I mean? And you get humbled by life. And so you just try to do the best you can to help the people that you can, that resonate with you in the best way that you know how. But it's like you never stop growing. You never stop learning. And you just keep getting more and more information and having more and more experiences. And then that which you believed 5 years ago is less. And then there's the other context of, you know, I make all these delicious gourmet foods, but the thing is I don't meet any fruitarians or liquidarians. You know what I mean? So, and besides, how are you going to make videos of, here's an orange, here, you eat it, you know, or make orange juice, you know? That's what I recommend. Fresh whole fruits first, mono meals, or 2 or 3 kinds of fruits like papayas, bananas, and coconut yogurt. That's like the ultimate meal of all time, you know what I mean? For your gut. That's got it all, you know, that thing. I did a little thing on Instagram. But fruit, you know, fruit grows in nature. I mean, people, I see these guys, the carnivores, and they're like, there is no fruit. And I'm like, I'm driving down the road here, and there's tons of fruit. You know, there's more fruit than all the animals and all the humans are ever going to eat right alongside of the road. I see pigs, I see cows, I see chickens, but God, I'd have to chase them down, then I'd have to slit their throat, and they'd be bleeding all over the place, looking up at me, crying, I want to live, I don't want to die. The fruit never says that. It always says to me, please, do me a favor, eat me up and poop out my seeds, brother. The lilikoi, the guava, the avocado, you toss the seed, man. There's thousands of avocado trees that no one even knows down in these valleys and rifts because the avocados roll. I go down there with a backpack, you know, and for you, it would be like at the grocery store, it would be like $200 worth of avocados, and I've got that I'm schlepping them up the hill in my backpack, and even the locals don't even know about it because they're not tapped into the live stream, the frequency. But you can probably get mulberries at certain times. Who cares what the people think? There's wild blackberries, there's wild blueberries, huckleberries in Washington and Canada, and you always just go out whenever you can and you find those foods, and you find herbs and you dry them and you make your own teas. And we're all so separated from nature, man. I wasn't going to get into much preaching, but God, this is what, when I don't have a lot of stuff going on and it's just you and me right here, that's kind of when I feel like I'm channeling the most. When I feel safe with the food. It makes me comfortable, and we all like food, and you know, I like fruits and vegetables, and I like this creative, and I like being like the executive head chef at Puradyme and recipe creator. I mean, what an honor, you know what I mean? I get to be creative, and here you go. It's like lemon ginger blast crackers. I haven't even told this about Lou yet. He might go, holy mackerel, that's brilliant. You know, because then you take just a little bit of the protein powder, which is really awesome and clean, and that's how you get this. You heard that, didn't you? This is like, hey, dude. I mean, you know, I'm not eating any dehydrated foods right now because, again, it was 2 weeks ago since I broke the water fast. I'm still rebuilding with fruits and salads and high water, and that's what I go for anyways. And so I was just going to say that I feel like, you know, fruit is really the best food for human beings and the most ecologically sensible from the way I see it at this time. Like I said, the animals, I mean, you could chase them down, they're here. The chickens taste like crap is what I've heard because they eat centipedes, and that's disgusting.
Centipedes are acrid little, and so the chicken are like acid little leather bombs. Now there's cows all over the place, but God, would I walk up to one of those cows and slit its throat? There's just so much other food. Now, yes, I live in Hawaii. The tropics are original place, so I have an understanding. You know, the survival foods are necessary in those colder climates. So I can't really get down on anybody for eating animals and drinking milk and stuff like that in those environments where humans are doing actually just surviving more than being able to thrive barefoot with no shirt. I only wear clothing for the videos and stuff. So, you know, yeah, I could go on and on forever, but fruits are awesome. Vegetables, especially when they're juiced, it's like, you know, like, hey man, just, because your body is a juicer. The juicers are unnatural. It's like, well, your body is a juice machine. So it's like me standing over you while you're taking a dump and saying, hey, don't let go of the fiber. You're wasting all the fiber. Your body sucked all the juice out of the vegetables and the fruit. And yes, you need fiber, the microorganisms, but you know, one juice and one meal with fats and proteins a day is usually sufficient for when you're in a maintenance phase. The other thing I wanted to mention too, if you're still here, which I hope you are, is I'll get messages, hey Dan, I'm doing your program and I'm actually gaining weight. And I'll be like, well, are you exercising? And they're like, no. Well, please, for the love of God, do not eat a lot of fruit and drink a lot of juice unless you're going to go outside and play. If you're going to just eat fruit and, you know, sit around, that's a really bad idea. Take these sugars and get your air-fuel mixture burning clean, so you use the glucose and the fructose to, you know, get your brain going and get your heart pumping and get your, you know, thin your blood out. And you go outside and you move. You lift weights. That's awesome, because, you know, we used to do all kinds of stuff. Chop wood. Moms would carry babies 20 miles a day. You know, we'd be bending over, picking up stuff, schlepping stuff all through to go get water 5 miles away. Now we just push a button, then we push another button, then we go through the drive-through, then we push another button, then we sit on our duff all day and we stuff our face with all this processed stuff, and then we wonder why we're not well. So we want to get, you know, the philosophy goes on and on. And I truly do believe in consuming as much. Like I said, I'm all bent out of shape by the hogwash hooey, but they're just not tapped into the life stream, so I can't really, that's sad for them. They're not worshiping and serving the living God. You know what I mean? They're just more like going along with society, or like, I'm a vegan, but then they're not really serving the living life force, and they're severed from it. And so they'll say the buzzwords like whole foods, plant-based diet, but it's always processed, denatured, cooked food. And so the real subtle qualities that animate the mind, because food is consciousness, you know? And so, because there's patterns and shapes and energy and information, and the heat alters that, changes it, destructures it, denatures it, and deactivates the enzymes, bursts the cell wall in the fiber, and there's so many other reasons why I love living food, you know? And if I was going to eat animals and animal products, or suggest it to people, I would say eat it raw. Eat the meat raw, eat the milk raw, you know. I don't suggest that, but if you are eating cooked meat, you're ruining the fats. That'd be the only reason to eat meat, because the protein is way too hard to break down. Plant protein is awesome. And then, you know, like a gorilla. I'd like to see any meat eater human wrestle with a vegetarian gorilla, which the gorilla does snack on little tiny rodents and stuff like that every once in a while, but it's like 1 or 2% of their diet. So that's okay, cool too. But the gorillas eat plants, and they're jacked up, dude. You know what I mean? And there are different species of primates that are more frugivorous and eat the roots and the roots from the ground and the tender plants. And there's nuances throughout the whole thing. There's no black and white picture. Wouldn't that be nice? Again, I wasn't even going to go on any rant, but my point is that there is no point. That I'm still learning so much, so fast, all the time, that I'm learning that there's no one right answer. There's all I can say, and all I've been focusing on lately is what's been working for me and what I love and what makes sense to me, you know? What I love and what I've learned and then applied, and, you know, I see all this stuff again, the carnivores. If you're vegan, you're gonna be dead. I've been a raw vegan for almost 18 years in a couple months. Everything still works down here. This thing right here is incredible. Almost everyone that calls me for a consult has gut problems, and that's because the pesticides, the bad food combinations, the glyphosate, the atrazine, the antibiotics, the chemicals, the drugs, the bad food combining, the cooked foods, the oils, and the removal of a lot of organs and glands. Not a majority, but a fair amount of society has had one or more of their glands cut out. And they're all important, damn it. And don't let some monkey in a white coat cut you up and him make 15 grand in about 4 hours or 2 hours. Yeah, he's got to split it with the hospital, but you just paid his house payment, his BMW payment, his school payment, school loans for being a doctor, all in your operation to cut your gallbladder out that you need, because it's $15,000 to cut your gallbladder out. So even if the insurance pays it, you're the one without a gallbladder, and now you're the one that needs enzymes for the rest of your life. That's why I like the enzymes, man. They're very practical. So there's a lot of reasons why for a lot of cool things, and I'm stoked. And this is my time. And these videos are for my people that want to just sit here and rap and just be in this field of open-mindedness, stay open and glean what you can from my experience and get inspired. Because, man, it's like most everyone I know is still eating a lot of stuff that is not this. So I don't meet no fruitarians on this island. So when I make all these gourmet raw foods, it's a level up. And I'm assuming that it's a level up for a lot of you too. Now there are fruitarians out there. There's people that eat way cleaner than I do. They don't even eat like vegetables and stuff like that, but I get it. I like the balance. Fruits, vegetables, you know, it's like fruits, vegetables, and then nuts and seeds. You know, and I consider the coconut in the fruit family, really. Then the vegetables like lettuce and celery and herbs and, you know, cilantro and parsley and kale and cabbage. And then nuts and seeds, and that keeps me pono. Keeps everything working, nuts and seeds, you know, because I want to keep that, and then I want to just generate it. So after 18 years of raw vegan, I can tell you, I mean, I rode my bike yesterday, I can work out at the gym, you know, everything works, I feel good, I'm happy, I am successful. So if raw vegan was so detrimental, of course, the guys that are promoting eating nothing but raw meat, they look, and they're so mad as hell. They're mad as hell. So, and they're not nice, they're not kind, they're not loving. So it's like, I don't really want that. Like, I think the vegetarian, vegan is more of the, you know, they're calmer. The carnivores, they're out there killing stuff, hurting things, desensitized. It's like, we're hungry, we're lions, we're hungry, we're going to go kill this thing. The herbivores are teaming up, they're working together, and they're herds, you know, goats and sheep and antelope and water buffalo. They work together, they're communal, they survive and they harmonize with each other. The carnivores are always like, all four of us, F everybody else. You know what I mean? And that's how they roll. So that is the consciousness. So I think the consciousness of, my favorite consciousness dietarily is live food and vegan. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, but I like honey and bee products. I mean, I haven't had any honey since I broke the fast, but I've got some awesome honey here in case I want to do that. And I don't know anyone any explanation, and that's why you know, I get tired. You're not a vegan, Dan. That's honey. You're raping the bees. And that's just, you know, I have a totally different philosophy on that. I believe in supporting organic bee farmers. I'm my friend up the street. You know, and the thing about nature that I guess people don't understand is that nature always produces way more than we need. These agricultures, the animal agriculture and the grain agriculture, it's just never enough. Although, in this world, I just saw a documentary where we literally throw away 1/3 of the food, and the dude went around and like filmed all this stuff. Went to grocery stores, restaurants, I was blown away. So it's just, we are so inefficient. It is insane. So I always take my leftovers, juice some, and make them into kimchi and cabbages, and then I bring them to church. You know, if I can't get to it all, because I like to support these farmers. But I have rambled on long enough, and it's time for me to get ready to do a consult. Thank you for joining me for today's hour-long video of the Life Regenerator Show, where I talked about a whole lot of nothing, but it might have been something for you to activate you, to keep you going. Man, take care of your gut. Just smile sweetly at the doctor and get the hell out of there. And get home and get on the internet and find people that healed themselves from the disease that you got. Because I've got news for you. Drugs and surgeries and drop-dead retarded ignorance is not a good combination. They are trained. Doctors die at an average age of 52, strung out on their own drugs. Okay? I don't know about you, but I ain't ready to go yet. And I don't want to be strung out, so, you know what I'm saying, on drugs and reliant on drugs. I don't take any drugs. Okay? I just use food, oxygen, and sleep, and meditation, and gratitude. And that's how, and I am barely getting started. I saw the light. I did a 40-day water fast. I saw the light. And I'm just chilling right now. I'm going to make a ton of videos for my sponsors. I'm going to set myself up. I got everyone and their grandmother, Hollywood stars, doctors, trying to get a hold of me to get me to do all this and that and offer me all this money, and people are trying to give me all these products and stuff. I don't really want to go anywhere. I have the perfect life. I realized that when I was fasting. My life is perfect. I love it. And I'm like, please God, don't change anything, you know? All the money in the world cannot improve upon the fact that I love climbing coconut trees. I went into the jungle yesterday. I had mosquitoes all over me, biting me, it hurt. I fell down twice in the grassy mud, slipping and slopping, carrying these racks of coconuts out of the jungle. And I was like dirty and slimy and itchy, and I was like, I wouldn't have this any other way. I love it. Today I'm going to go harvest guavas and make guava juice, because there's the billions and zillions of guavas. and they are super mineral rich. Is 1 hour long enough? It's just that I love you, and I love this, and I really appreciate you. You've helped me to grow. You've been supportive of me in all these endeavors, and there's a whole bunch of different people out there on different levels. So I'm just trying to kind of, you know, touch base with everyone. There's no one right answer, and everyone's at a different level. So I just kind of go right in the middle. Fruits, vegetables, crackers, Puradyme, enzymes, juices, fruits, exercise, fresh air, just trying to hit on it, you know? Just trying to, it's all a generalization, but when people call me for consultations, I have seen my mastery. When I see that, because the individual, I can listen, and I hear what they're saying, and each individual person needs something else that the DTM's got inside of them after a lifetime of experience. A lot of stuff I've been through to come out here and be here now, happy and satisfied and successful and sober and clean and ready and hungry for the next level. Just got to chill out right now, but I know what I'm going to do to get to the next level. You know, and it's like, wow, Dan, you are one crazy son of a gun. But you know what? It's just my calling. You know, not everyone is going to be like me, but you can learn from me. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to do my best to be leery and aware of not putting anyone down. I'm not trying to criticize anyone. I kind of, you know, there's a lot of weird stuff out there that I don't agree with. And I want to just kind of give my 2 cents. You know? I want humanity to be upgraded, and I'd love to see us survive the next 30 years. You know? Again, I got a million more things to say. I got a million more videos to come. I'm going to be full-fledged, balls to the wall for the next 6 months. Because I'm going to set myself up, and then I'm going to go to the top of the mountain. Because my heart got lit on fire. And I saw the light. And it's all so clear to me now. What really truly matters, you know? I want to just come back and have fun for 6 months and set myself up and set up all these people like Morocco Method and Kauai Pharmacy and Puradyme that have been so good to me over the years and so patient. I'm going to set them up, set myself up, and then I'm going to dive in deep to the ocean. I'm going to just give my entire heart to the one. Can you dig it? This one, my friend, is for you. Thank you so much for everything. Unless it's dripping out the sides of your mouth, you ain't doing it all right, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, I mean, I could spend an hour just thanking you for being here and for being who you are. Aloha and mahalos.